as well. So we're just giving you kind of that broader view because there's not a great signature of rotation right now over in this area. But it's the same thing here with Dixie Union over to Beach that we're seeing, that we have the strongest wind and rain right now.
Yeah, and let's take a look. We have a new tornado warning now. Let's go ahead and put the warning back on here. And there's the newest, latest tornado warning, which we have, as you can see, including Tattnall and Evans County. And that's going to go through the 2 p.m. time frame. So that's our newest warning we have on here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put the velocity back on here just to track where that warning is right now. And I'm still going to move out of here. Let's see Warner Robins radar, see if it picks it up. We're kind of in between radar scans. You can see that purple. That means you're getting on the edge of the radar beam right there. But this was the what we were watching before, seeing some of that velocity moving out of Tattnall County. Can you see exactly where that warning is? Let's see if you can see that here. Charleston, I want to see exactly where that tornado warning issues a tornado warning. So we've got tornado warning for Evans and Tattnall County going through 2 o'clock. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Plant Hatch, and it was moving northeast at about 55 miles per hour. So located over near the Plant Hatch area and working pretty quickly out to the northeast here. So this is the area we're going to be watching here into that region here as it moves kind of out of the Toombs County area. So down near the Altamont region, it looks like we're seeing a little bit of that moving out of the Davis area and continuing to work its way to the northeast here. We'll put a little tracker on here. We got to adjust the time because it's moving at 55 miles per hour. So we got to make sure that we have the current right speed on there. We're going to do this on the fly. We'll all do it together and kind of put a little timer tracker on here as it moves out to the northeast. So it looks like we're getting into Reedsville by about 129, Hewland 131, Belleville 139, and Claxton by about 144. So very impressive line of some storms continuing to make its way in here to the Reedsville area, and there could be some rotation embedded with that storm as well. Andrew, do you have more?
Yeah, just looking at the same system here, this is where that warning is for. A couple of things of note here as we go through Tattnall County, as well as going into Evans County. You guys in Claxton, you guys still have time to prepare for this. This is the time to get in your safe spot. If you guys are in Claxton and Daisy, you live along 280, even Collins, I'd make sure you guys are in your safe spot. This is going to go through Reedsville right now. Anytime you see this bowing section, kind of like that backward, see, that is wind pushing out of a thunderstorm. So you're going to have strong straight line wind within this. Earlier when we were talking about the bowing of these storms, you get these little notches in there, embedded tornadoes within the line. Well, that's what we're talking about. Looking at the velocity in this area, not seeing the greatest scan there of a tornado itself, but where you see these darker greens right on the edge there of that tornado warning. Again, this is until 2 o'clock. That's where we're seeing the strongest wind right now. So this is going to be south of Reedsville. This is going to be moving over toward Georgia 121. Probably going to have some trees down in this area as well. So the warning itself, just taking the radar off of it, these are the communities that need to be in their safe spots right now. Even going to put Glenville in that because you guys are so close to the tornado warning, but also the severe thunderstorm warning is pretty close to that as well. So let's take a look back at this velocity. Latest scan has not come in yet. Still not seeing any great rotation with that, but looking at the radar with the warning, it definitely is looking a little bit on the nasty side of things. This is where we've got this lightning too. You definitely don't love seeing lightning on the leading edge of a system like this because it means it's getting a little bit more lift. It's gaining a little bit of strength. So we're looking at this again. Reedsville, you guys south of town, definitely a few lightning strikes there south of Collins. Collins itself not getting the severe weather from this particular tornado warning, but you have your own severe thunderstorm warning. And these storms moving a little bit quicker than what we typically have. There's a lot of upper air energy that's pushing these along. So you typically, our thunderstorms move 30, 40 miles an hour. These are moving over 50 miles an hour right now. So that means they're going to move into your area fast. You hear the thunder, and it comes in a little quicker than you might expect a typical summertime thunderstorm moving into the area. So that's what we got right now. Still seeing some lightning popping in here with this tornado warning for Tattnall County going into Evans County as well. This is what I'm not loving seeing, that bowing area where we're going to see that track across the portion south of Reedsville and then eventually get into the southern portions there of Evans County. So if you guys live on US 25 from Glenville up toward Claxton, 280 there as well, over toward Pembroke, this storm is actually going to be moving toward your area right now, maybe just going off to the the west of town, and eventually this storm is going to pass over I-16, and you don't want to be in a big rig or next to those when that is the case. So we'll be watching this one closely. Dave, do you have anything from the National Weather Service on any of these storms that we're following, or is that kind of where we're at right now?
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now, Andrew. I'm not seeing anything here showing up for that storm moving into parts of Tattnall County as of right now. But we're seeing, let's see, is this in Clint County? They're seeing some damage. Storm near Alma, this is at 117, so that was a little bit ago. Still producing 60 to 70 mile per hour winds with broad rotation with that one heading out of the Surrency area in Appling County. But as far as that one that we were just tracking here, that latest tornado warning, including Tattnall and into Toombs County, if you're just watching right now, Tattnall into Evans County, sorry. That is this storm right here, and that includes the Reedsville, Daniels, the Jenny area, and that is going to go through the 2 o'clock hour. So time right now is 1:24, so it's for another half hour or so as the storm is working quickly out to the northeast here. It looks like the storm itself, the one that's actually producing the tornadic activity, could be down further down here south of the Collins area. So I'm going to put the radar back on and see if we can kind of see where that rain and storms are. As Andrew mentioned, anytime you get this bowing effect right here, especially right here, and it kind of bows out, that's going to be a very strong wind, which is coming down from this thunderstorm, hitting the ground and then bowing out, moving out. That's where you're going to get some of the strongest winds. But that is looking at the reflectivity, which is showing us where the heavy rain is, a lot of lightning associated with that. As we can see, there's probably a good 14 lightning strikes embedded in that from Reedsville down into the Easton Bluff area. But again, we are also seeing the potential for a tornado in there. So there is rotation. We'll go ahead and put the velocity back on. It looks like some of the velocity here could be across south of the Reedsville area and now moving out of the Altamaha region. Kind of hard to pick out exactly where the center of that rotation is. It looks like it's more just south of the Reedsville area, right about in this general location right here. That's where I'm thinking the best potential for seeing a rotation is. So it's moving quickly out to the northeast here. So I'm going to put the tracker on here. Again, we had it at about 55 miles per hour, and this is going to move through very quickly. So if you're watching southern areas of Reedsville, it's in there right about now. Manassas at 135, Belleville by about 138. It'll be moving into your area. So you need to be in your safe shelter, lowest level of your home, an interior bathroom, an interior closet, with as many walls in between you and the outside as possible, because we are seeing some of that potential rotation, which could produce a tornado at any moment. These storms could easily pulse up quickly and get a better signature out here. So we could be seeing that developing now just as it's crossing east of Georgia 178, south of the Reedsville area. Again, right about in this general region here is where we're seeing some of that rotation, it looks like. So as we continue to see that zooming on in here, let's see if we can zoom on in a little bit. In between 21 and 147, see if we can get any little streets over here. So Rod Strickland Road, College Avenue, Mallory Road, Strickland Road, Jim Bowen Road. This looks like you are in the path of where we're seeing some of that rotation from the tornado warning, which we have out there right now. And even if it's not producing a tornado, we're seeing winds potentially 60 to 70 plus miles per hour embedded in this. So that's enough to do a lot of damage as well as that line continues to move on through the area. So let's give you a little overview, if you're just tuning in right now, of what we have as far as the warnings. That is the tornado warning we have for Tattnall and Evans County, and that is going to go through the 2 o'clock time frame. We also have that other warning which goes to the Alma area. That signature does not look, well, it's starting to get a little bit more impressive. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that one down there in that region, just to tell you that that is actually going through that 1:30 time frame. So that's going to expire here in just the next minute or so. But let's go back out over and see that. If we put the velocity on, I'm going to take that out of Valdosta radar a little bit closer down there to them, and see if you can see anything down here. It looks like it's south of the Alma area, still in northern areas of Ware County, sorry. moving to the near the Dixie Union area, it looks like there in Wayne County. We're seeing some of that rotation embedded right over here, crossing over US 1, it looks like. So we're going to continue with that. We'll see if the National Weather Service continues with that tornado warning, as it will potentially expire in just the next minute or so. We'll see if they continue to go with that warning. I'm trying to see in the chat. I'm reading the chat right here. If they're going to continue that or not. They're not saying if they're going to continue that. But it's definitely something that we're going to continue to monitor here, as we still have that warning associated with that. We'll see if that gets extended or not. So that's a lot of the activity which we continue to see. And that's over here, crossing over more towards US 1 and getting out over towards the Bowling area, south of Alma. So it's crossing, just about to cross over get out of US 1, it looks like, cross over there, south of the Alma area. So a lot of wind associated with this, and this has been the main threat we've been talking about. So even if it's not producing a tornado, we are still going to see a lot of wind energy associated with this. So there's that warning which we have. They have now expired that warning, which is definitely some good news. We still have that severe thunderstorm warning, which is in effect for Bacon County, and that's going to go through 1:45 p.m. So a lot of wind associated with that, and the only tornado warning which we're tracking right now is heading up into Tattnall County and Evans County, and that goes through that 2 o'clock time frame. Andrew, you going to have a little bit more on that one?
We'll talk about that one that's further north. So the only tornado warning we have right now, we'll take a look at that. So this is a look at the one Dave was just mentioning. This goes until 2 o'clock right now. This is the storm that's going through Reedville. Still seeing some bowing with this, and it's going over toward the Claxton area as well. Lots of lightning here on the northern end, maybe extending further over there as well. This bowing here is going over Georgia 169, and this is moving pretty quickly, about 55 miles an hour. So it's going to come into Claxton here pretty quickly, cross over 280, and eventually get up toward I-16 as well. Let's take a closer look at where we're seeing some of the radar images within this. This is going to be over there from Hewland, down there, Georgia 121. Tyson is well over toward Daniels. Again, I just mentioned Georgia 169. We're going to see that moving across the area, maybe a little bit of a wind picking up in that area as well. So again, this tornado warning going until 2 o'clock, and it does look like, Dave, I don't know if you have a little bit of information on that tornado warning that is now to the south of the one that we've been talking about, but we do have the one that we're looking at from Reedsville going over toward Claxton. Another warning that looks like it's to the south.
Yes, they just issued, National Weather Service coming out of Jacksonville has just issued a new tornado warning, and that was for that same storm, the line of some storms we were watching. That goes through 2 o'clock right now, and as you can see, that does include parts of east central Bacon County, northwestern Wayne County, and eastern Appleton County. That goes through 2 p.m. The storm was located about 9 miles to the north of the Surrency area, and it is moving to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So that is the newest warning that we have. So if you're watching over there, I'm going to put the radar back on here, and we'll get over towards the Surrency region. Kind of zoom on in a little bit here. And again, it was 9 miles southwest of Surrency, so it's going to be with this line. As you can see here, here's Surrency. This is Georgia 121 right now, and that is continuing to make with this line, working quickly in from the west, from basically the southwest, moving quickly out to the northeast here. So we're going to put the velocity back on and see if we can actually see where we're seeing a little bit of some wind embedded inside that storm. And let's see if we can take this out of the Jacksonville. Let's see if we get a better one, maybe coming out of VAX. And let's see if we can see. Now you're kind of right on the edge of the radar beams here. So I'm going to put this back over towards the Moody Air Force. So it looks like the one that is producing that warning, which we're looking at right now, is going to be down, again, to the southwest of the Surrency area. And it's going to be in this general region here. So it looks like it's north of Georgia 15, southwest of Surrency, and moving quickly out to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So let's put a little tracker on here. Here's where you need to be in your safe shelter if you're watching this system. And we'll put it out here and head up towards the Surrency area. Surrency by about 1:36. The next couple of minutes, Brentwood by about 1:40. This storm is going to be moving into your area with the potential for this to be producing an isolated tornado. So that is mostly down here. We'll try to go street level for us, see if we can get any of the streets embedded in here. And it's in between 121 and Georgia 15. So Holmesville Road, Poor Robin Road. We're looking over towards Holland Road, John Herndon Road Southeast. These are the areas where you need to be in your safe shelter as we're looking at potential rotation working right over your area, heading up towards the Surrency region at about 55 miles per hour. And there's a lot of wind energy, so even if it's not producing a tornado, we're definitely going to see winds which could be gusting 60 to 70 miles per hour associated with this storm. And we'll put the radar back on here just to show you where we have a lot of the rain. You can see that there's the storm itself crossing now into Surrency, down into the Georgia 121, and we put this into motion just to show you how quickly this is moving just in the last half hour. This is racing out to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So if you're just watching, we do have that new tornado warning now, which is in effect. That does include parts of Bacon, Wayne, and eastern areas of Appleton County going through the 2 o'clock hour. And they still have that tornado warning in effect for Tattnall and Evans County, and that one is also, I believe, through the 2 o'clock hour. So there's those 2 tornado warnings which are in effect for our area. I'm going to send it over to Andrew with more.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. We've got a couple different views of these tornado warnings that we've been talking about. Again, these are until 2 o'clock here as we go to the afternoon. And right now, some of the same cities that we've been talking about, Reedsville, the storm passing now off to your east. This is wreaking havoc here over Georgia 169. Lots of heavy rain and wind with this going into Claxton. These storms also moving very quickly at about 55 miles an hour. Tornado warning till 2 o'clock. Let's take a closer look here. Georgia 121 back over toward Georgia 169. And now, as you get to Jenny there, Georgia 129, these roads and some just kind of ways that you can look at where we're seeing some of these different areas that we're trying to warn you for. So we're looking back over just off to the west there of Odom is where we got a lot of this bowing within these storms. So over from Surrency toward Odom at US 341, we're seeing a lot of that wind activity, and as well we could have a little bit of rotation in there as well. So let's take a closer look at what we've got here. From Surrency to Brentwood, right along these roads, 121, we're also seeing some of the heaviest of rain underneath that tornado warning. Right now, looking at the velocity scan, not seeing a whole lot. This for the northern storm near Reedsville, over near Altamaha, Tyson as well as Hewlin. Not seeing a exact signature. The latest scan just coming in here, seeing some peaks here where you've got the darker green and the lighter green. That's where you've got a little bit of that rotation is starting to curve in there. That's going to be crossing back over here toward US 23. So we'll be watching that for you guys. Further south, not seeing a great deal of rotation with this system as you've got the darker reds. Latest scan comes in here. This is moving back off to the north and east. So that's what we've got for you guys with that system. Your warnings, you've got this yellow box. That is a severe thunderstorm warning that is going all across the area, all the way from Bullitt County down toward the state line of Georgia and South Florida, as well as South Carolina is dealing with this as well. So we've got a big line of thunderstorms that we've been talking about. So this is the area that we're warning. We talked about the timing of it. It is coming in right on time. And Dave, we're going to continue to keep you guys with us at least until 2 o'clock as these 2 tornado warnings are set to expire at 2. We'll be watching those though.
Exactly, and we're going to stay on air as long as we have an active tornado warning in effect for our region. As Andrew mentioned, we do have the 2 in effect going through that 2 o'clock hour. Now, looking at the National Weather Service chat, they're talking about that potential tornadic storm southeast of Appleton County will pass just east of Surrency. Rotation was a little bit broad. Again, that's what Andrew was talking about. Kind of hard to pick out an exact center of circulation in that area. But the environment is very favorable for a quick little spin-up. So that's why we do have those warnings in effect for parts of Appleton County and northwestern areas of Wayne County as well. So let's go ahead and put the velocity, because again, this is the velocity is really what we want to see as far as tracking where the wind is associated with inside the storms. And again, very broad circulation embedded with this here, as it looks like it's moving right over the Surrency area right now as we're looking over in this general region here. So it's crossing over 341 Here's Georgia 121 right here. This is the city of Surrency. We're getting some of that broad circulation in here. So even though if it might not be producing a tornado, the conditions are favorable for at any time for this to quickly spin up. And even if it's not, there's a lot of very strong winds associated with this as it continues to make its way out to the northeast here at about 55 miles per hour. So these storms are racing out to the northeast. So when we're watching over in Surrency, you need to be tracking this a little bit further out to the northeast of that. So we'll put a little tracker on here. If you're watching over in Surrency, we'll put the tracker on here. I'm going to try and track it up towards Glenville by about 2 o'clock. Again, that's when the warning continues through that 2 o'clock hour for the Surrency region. Now, there is a lot of heavy rain associated with this as well. And there's not a lot of lightning associated with these storms. This is basically a lot of wind energy. But I want to put the radar back on just to show you that we have a lot of other warnings to our north. So I'll put the warnings back on first, just to show you that the line extends through Glenville, into Claxton. Look at that, through Statesboro, Metter, up towards Sylvania. And all that is going to be for some very strong winds associated with this system. And we put that on here. You can see right up towards Rocky Ford, very heavy rainfall into the Pittleville area, down towards Claxton, into the Jenny region. That's that warned severe warning with the tornado warning in effect for this storm right here, moving south of the Claxton area, southeast of Reedsville, kind of northwest of the Glenville region, and then that line extends back just east now of the Surrency area. So we continue to watch this system. I'm going to put the velocity on here just to show you that we don't have a warning in our northern regions, just to show you some of the wind on here, which we have. I'm going to see if we can get it out of the Charleston area, a little closer here. So a lot of wind, even over towards Statesboro and the Register area. Now that says 95 mile per hour winds, but that's up into the atmosphere, off the surface. But that just shows you the tremendous amount of wind energy of moving through the area aloft. So we have this rain and we have these thunderstorms which could tap into some of that wind and transport it down to the ground. So when we're talking about severe thunderstorm warnings, any one of these storms could have 60 to 70 plus mile per hour winds, and that's enough to do damage if it was an EF0 tornado. So even though you don't have a tornado warning, we need to take this seriously because we do have those alerts here with the warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, continuing to move through that area for the heavy rain and the gusty winds, which are going to move through the region. So there is the warnings which we have. We still have the two tornado warnings. Looks like we just got a newer tornado warning, which popped in there. Are you going to be talking about that one? No, we're going to talk about this one right here. Let's see if we can get that newer one. That goes through 2:15 p.m. And this one here is going to be for, let's see, northwestern Pierce County, southeastern Bacon counties, northwestern Wayne County, and southeastern Appling County. This goes through 2:15. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Bristol or 9 miles to the northwest of Blackshear and moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. So this storm is racing out to the northeast. So that's the newest tornado warning we have out there. Let's go ahead and see if we can follow this storm here. So it's moving now, as it said, near the Bristol area. So the warning includes over near Bristol. We'll put the radar back on here to show you what the rain looks like, moving into that area with the storm. And you can see the heavier amounts of rain and lightning moving out of the Waresboro region, east of Dixie Union, and just about to get into the Bristol region. So we'll put the velocity on here and see if we can find out what the storm is doing. And yeah, we got definitely getting some broad rotation. Again, like the other storms, kind of hard to pick out exactly where the center of circulation is. I'm going to try a different radar site. Let's move it out of Jacksonville. That one's looking a little bit better. You can kind of see that we have a little bit of something right here. And again, we're talking about 9 miles to the northwest of the Blackshear region, heading over towards the Bristol area. So we had a little bit there. Looks like we're getting a little bit over into the Bristol region northwest of the Blackshear region. So there's some embedded rotation moving through that area, which has prompted the tornado warning for those regions, including northwestern Pierce, southeastern Bacon County, northwestern Wayne County, and southeastern Appling County. You have a new tornado warning in effect for your area. The one to the north of Surrency, that looks like it's starting to get a little bit better. And you can see that purple on here. That means we're getting kind of out of the radar range. This is coming out of the radar coming out of Jacksonville. So I'll switch it over, see if one of the other radar sites can pick it up a little bit better. And there we are, a little bit better. Over towards Surrency, it looks like it's kind of northeast of the Surrency area. And this area right now is looking a little bit more enhanced, getting a little bit better organized for that region. So we're going to have to see what we're going to do with that system as well. Let's see if we have that. That is northeast of Surrency, and that is definitely showing some rotation embedded in that area. That's included with the tornado warning which we have for that region. So that's going to cross to the south and east of the McTier region, south of Zion, and it's working its way out to the northeast very, very quickly. So again, it's kind of getting out of the radar range. Let me see if I can get a different radar in here coming maybe out of, see if you can track it out of the Warner Robins radar. We are kind of right on the edge of a lot of our radar beams over in that region. You can see that purple again showing up. But it looks like it's moving now northeast of Surrency. So this is the area of concern which we're watching for potential rotation now, and it's northeast of Surrency. Zooming on in, it's right along 144, and see if we can get any of that. Right near Georgia, Georgia 169 and Georgia 121 kind of meet. We have any roads out here that are going to pop up? Here we go. We got Fred Carter Road, Country Road 33, Ella Reddish Road, again, right along Georgia 144. That's where the rotation is going to try to move into your area as we're watching tornado warning in effect for your region. Let's go ahead and to kind of give a little overview, if you're just tuning in right now, kind of recenter. We have a couple different tornado warnings in effect. We actually have 3 different tornado warnings. We have one here, including Tattnall and Evans County. That goes through 2 p.m. One for parts of, we have a brand new tornado warning, and I think that was probably for the one that I was just talking about right now, that storm moving, because it's about to cross over the Altamaha River. That goes through 2:15 p.m. And let's see, that one's probably coming out of the Jacksonville, or the Charleston office. Once you cross over the Altamaha River, we change National Weather Service offices from Jacksonville out to Charleston. And that's a new tornado warning for Liberty County in southeastern Georgia, Long County, and Tattnall County. And that does go through 2:15. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 9 miles north of Odin. I gotta say it again, Odom, moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. So that was the storm, again, we were watching right there, which was into northwestern Wayne County, but it will be moving into parts of western areas there of Long County. So tracking that storm out here, let's see if we can put the velocity on here. Are we going to get that out of, yeah, we're right on the edge of it. Let's see if we can get it out of Jacksonville. All right, so let's see. I'm going to put that back on over here. I know we're changing radar sites, but again, you're right on the fringe of the radar sites, so I'm trying to get the best radar sites to view it. And if you're looking at different colors in there, depending on what radar site we're coming from, you're going to have different colors based on where the radar is. But it looks like it's going to be this system right here, embedded, moving to the northeast of Surrency and 9 miles to the north of the Odom area. So heading over towards Madray Springs. So Odom, it looks like you're going to be in the clear out of this. I'm going to put a little tracker on here as it's moving to the east. It's moving east, it says, at 40 miles per hour. So we'll put a little tracker on here, and I'm going to put it at 40 miles per hour so we can get some of the cities out ahead of that storm. And we can go ahead and kind of time that out for us. So get into 40 miles per hour. And let's go ahead and track that out for us as it moves generally out towards the east, including Hinesville. So Beards Creek by about 210, Smiley Crossroad 219, Hinesville at 231. And that one looks like it's kind of just crossed over the Altamaha River now with the latest scan. And it's crossing over into parts of Long County right now. And into, actually that's southeastern areas of Tattnall County, south of Glenville. So it's going to be moving over into, crossing over the Altamaha River and moving into the Glenville area. And it looks like the latest scan is going to bring it somewhere right over in this region right here. So if you're watching southeast of Glenville, this storm is going to be trying to move into your area as well with some rotation embedded in that storm. So we're waiting for the latest scan to pop up here to see how it's going to move out of the Appling County area, northern areas of Wayne County, and crossing over into the Altamaha River. So there's a lot of wind energy associated with this storm. And again, it's a lot to take in because we talked about this. There's a lot of lines of this storm stretching from north to south. So a lot of cities and counties impacted. That's a look at the line right now. So it stretches from Waycross into Glenville, just now getting into parts of Wayne County, and there's another line just north of Statesboro, and we do have a lot of warnings associated with this. So there is the tornado warnings along with all the severe thunderstorm warnings, which we have in effect right now. So this is going to continue to work its way into parts of Long County and into southern areas of Tattnall County. We are seeing some rotation, which is capable of producing a tornado moving into those areas. So we definitely need to make sure we are following that closely. I'm going to send it over to Andrew with a look at more.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Fortunately, we're getting into an area that's going to show us a little bit better radar imaging here because, as Dave has been saying, it's a little far out there. So right now, we just want to talk about the areas that are under these red polygons. You want to make sure that you are taking those seriously from Wayne County back over toward Appling as well as Liberty County and Long County. We've got northern portion there under tornado warning, as well as from Belleville south, as well as portions of Evans County. So let's work north to south here. We've got Daniels, some very heavy rain going through this way, as well as Jenny, Daisy, you guys, and Claxton just on the edge of this tornado warning. So go ahead and take shelter if you can do so here right now. That would be Georgia 250, 129, US 25, and 280. Those areas need to be making sure they're taking shelter here. So where we've got some of this wind energy over the Daniels area, that's moving back off here to the north and east. So we'll be watching that for you guys. There are more that we have to get to, though. So from Glenville, very heavy rainfall, strong wind coming through your area right now as well. Again, these moving back off to the east very quickly, over 50 miles an hour. That encompasses portions of 144. Hinesville, you guys on the edge of this, go ahead and get to your safe spots. If you're in Little Woodsey and Waltyreville as well, these warnings probably going to get extended toward your way. Also looking back down towards Cernsea and Odom for some of these stronger storms. Not seeing a lot of big rotation in here. I know it just looks like a muddled mess, and it's kind of what it is for us here near Beards Creek. That's one of the areas under one of the tornado warnings right now. Also from Bristol, this area, 121, very heavy rainfall over there. Odom, you guys about to get in on some of this very heavy rain. Georgia 203 near Scriven as well. This is now in Wayne County that we're looking at. Lots of heavy rain moving off to the northeast very quickly. Again, this now from Wayne County is going to move into Long County, then Liberty. So we've got a few different big communities as well as the small ones in between that we're trying to get people alerted to here right now. So we're looking at this lightning back here from Rich back over towards Scriven, Slover, as well as Redland and Jessup. This is just kind of off to the western portion of town, but not seeing a lot of that wind energy associated with it. So that's what we're looking at there. Nothing really spinning exactly that we can see, but there's a lot of energy that is with it. So something like this, you would see go toward Beards Creek, probably off to the north and east of it. They're US 25 and Georgia 196. That's where we're seeing some of that, but you could see all these different red polygons out there from Glenville back toward Odom, Cernsea, Jessup, and even points north here. Let's take a look back over here toward Claxton. Still, you guys under a portion of that tornado warning until 2 o'clock, and it's 1:52. So we're looking at, this is the storm that is moving through this area. Could get extended going into even portions of northern Bryan County, potentially as well. So those are the warnings that we're looking at right now. Some of those set to expire at 2 o'clock, some others expected closer to 2:15. So we'll keep you updated on those. And again, we're going to get a better picture of these as they get closer to some of these different radar sites for us. Dave, it looks like north of Effingham even maybe another warning potentially just popped up as well. So we're looking at multiple tornado warnings across the area right now as well.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and give you that. This is a look at the latest velocity scan here near the Blitch area here in northeastern areas of Bullock County. This is where we are seeing that rotation, and I believe that's probably, I was just going to talk about that. Let's see if that's the one where they did pull the warning on here for that. And I'm going to pop this up just as you're finding out as well. We're all finding out. That's the tornado warning, yeah. So that's the one I was watching. I was going to have Andrew toss over to me, and they did just prompt a new tornado warning for that, and that goes through 2:30 p.m. That includes parts of Scriven County, Bullock County, Hampton County, and Allendale County through 2:30 p.m. The storm is capable of producing a tornado. Is located near Dover, moving to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. So that is with this system right here. Again, we were just showing you that, and that one shows up very well. You can see that right now, that we're seeing that right over near the Blitch area. And I'm just going to just move this back. I just want to show you. Look at that. This is a scan going back over the last couple minutes, and we move it forward. Look at that right there. It just started to show up, and this is where we are seeing some of that rotation right now near the Blitch area, and this is going to work its way to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. So it's almost out of Bullock County. I'll put a little tracker on here for us. And I'm going to change the time here to 40 miles per hour so we can go it up. It's already at 40 miles per hour. That's good. So save us a little bit of time, and we'll track it out to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So getting into Ogeechee by about 156, the Goloid area, 206, and the Farmdale region at 211. This storm will continue to work its way very quickly. This one is showing a little bit better sign of rotation. When you have the reds, which are going away from the radar, and the greens going towards the radar, we are seeing a little bit of rotation embedded right in this general region here. So this one is showing up a little bit better than some of the other scans we were seeing down across our southern regions. That doesn't mean the other ones are not capable of producing tornadoes. So this one's a little closer to the radar, so it's easier to see, which is definitely easier to see for us in here this afternoon. Now, there's that line continuing here. I want to show you that. There's the latest scan, which has popped up here as it continues to work its way now over the Blitch area, and will continue to work over towards the Ogeechee area in parts of Effingham, or Scriven County. So let's put the alerts on here if you're just tuning in. There's that new tornado warning, which we have in effect for parts of Bullock County, near the Blitch area, into Scriven County, and then up towards Hampton County. Most of that, just a little bit of a sliver of Hampton County. That's going to go through that 2:30 time frame. So that's where we have the strongest amount of rotation with that warning. Other areas, even though you might not be warned for a tornado, you see a lot of yellow embedded, including parts of Effingham County and into a lot of Hampton. That's a lot of strong wind associated with that. Tornado warnings we still have in effect down across our southern areas, including now Glenville into the Hinesville area. These warnings will continue through 2 o'clock, including the Glenville area, and then down into Liberty County and Hinesville. That goes through that 2:15 time frame. I'm going to toss it over to Andrew right now with more.
Yeah, Dave, I want to focus on that northern storm because it has the best signature. Again, we're not ignoring folks down here. Just want to talk about the newest information that we've got out here. So this warning here going over the Dover area near Rocky Ford, this is going to be near the Savannah River here shortly as well. We're looking at quite the signature here of a little bit of rotation. So in the Blitch area in Ogeechee, so you'd have a tight little couplet that's trying to spin just like that. And this system here going over US 17.